Monsters and legions of demons manifest in human beings. I seen pain and heard the screaming, pools of blood and mothers weeping, suicide, tormented feelings, bodies hanging from the ceiling, snatched, children gone missing every day. Another killing. Welcome to the Drop Dead Podcast. I'm Asa Elliott here with Judy Grozer. Episode 1 of the Drop Dead Podcast. How you doing today, everybody?
Hello, I'm Judy.
And I'm Asa Elliott. We're from the Drop Dead Podcast, and today we'll be talking about our job.
Well, Asa and I have worked together about, 5 years?
Yes, 5 years.
And today is definitely different times out there.
Right. Well, let us tell you a little bit about what we do. We're with the mortuary transport, and what we do is we transport people that has passed away and in all kinds of conditions. We work for the medical examiner in about 50 different funeral homes, and we pick up for each of those individuals. The medical examiner mostly will be talking about the suicides, ODs, deaths, and stuff like that. So stay tuned, and you'll learn a little bit about what we do. Okay. So we're talking about the first day of the job, and let me tell you how I got into this. I was working in cell phone repair, and the place was next door that does the body transport and mortuary, doing bombings. They do cremations, anything for a funeral home they do. And I was next door, and we had a hurricane come through, and all the power was out. And then after the power came on, one of the guys came over. They wanted their cell phone fixed, and I was like, "Hey, you got any extra work over there?" Because business was slow. So he was like, "Yeah, come on through." So I go through there, and then I walk next door, and all I see is bodies in different rooms, bodies in coolers, like 100 different bodies in there. I was like, whoa, I was taken back like, oh my God. I never seen so much dead people in my life. So, it was crazy. He's like, yeah, you could drive the hearse. We rent out this hearse right here. They call it a coach. So you can drive that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't gotta touch the bodies or nothing like that. So I was like, man, I can do that. They'll be in the back, right? He's like, yeah. I said, okay, that could pay some of my child support. So let me do that part time, and so they would call me over, and I would do that. After a while, I decided to close my business down. It wasn't doing too good. The location was terrible. So I said, hey, what about the transport of the body? And my guy was like, oh, my God, I don't know if you want to do that. That's like, it's pretty hard. So, I said, I'll give it a try. So I started doing that. And my first day on the job, I think it was a nice day, and hot. And we pull up to this residence, nice house, okay, farm type house, and it had a trailer in the back, like a pull trailer. And this particular individual was in the pull trailer in the back. And when I stepped onto the property, you could smell it from like 30 yards away. Like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh my God, I don't know. So I was like, all right. I was working with this guy. He'd been there the longest. He was there 10 years working. And this guy was a savage. This dude is a savage. He come through. He walked me through there. No mask, nothing. We go through. It's a decomp.
Oh, boy.
Yes, a decomp. And it was a little old lady in there, decomposed. And she looked like a baked piece of chicken.
Wow.
Like golden baked piece of chicken, and the smell was like, I done worked for years now, and this smell was on the 10, or maybe because I was new,
Wow.
but the smell was on 10, right? So the place was very narrow to walk through. You couldn't really fit through. It was one of them pull trailers. So she was on the side bench thing, and it was very narrow, no AC, so very hot. It's a hot day, right? So the guy, he hands me the paperwork. I don't know why we got the paperwork in the place, but he hands me the paperwork, right? So I said, all right, I picked up the paperwork. So he said, all right, help me get the bike. So I grabbed the lady by the shoulders and picks her up, and her head falls off. This lady, they literally falling off. This lady was literally falling off the bone, right? So we get a sheet and we place her under the sheet, right? And we get in there and get in the bag. I was like, oh God, I don't know about this job, man. So we zip her up, we get her tight. We gotta tag the body. We tag the foot, the ankle on the left side. There's 2 tags, a paper tag, and a
Band.
plastic
ID band.
ID band that we write out, and we get that on. So we get down the road, and the smell, people was telling me like, oh, all you need is some Vicks. So I bought that with me just in case, right? So I put the stuff on that wasn't working.
That one, nothing works.
Nah, that didn't work. So I had a paper towel, I had that on my nose. I was like, oh my God. So I had the paper towel on my nose, like, oh. So we get a good ways down the road, and then the guy say, where's the paperwork?
Oh, no.
I don't know. This paperwork. He
With
said,
the officer?
I gave it to you, right? I said, you gave me the paperwork. I don't know. He said, oh, man, we got to go back and get the paperwork. He was hot with me about that paperwork. So we had to drive all the way back with this smelly body, boy, and get the paperwork.
I lucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first day, my first probably month, I had just regular bodies. I was
she was
earning.
coddled.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
They coddled her.
it's a hard job though, Asa.
Yeah, for the first couple of days, they coddled you.
They
weeks or
did,
whatever.
and then
That's nice.
now not anymore.
No, not no more. That's for certain. Me and Judy be in some tight situations, just some crazy situations.
A lot of times, Asa.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of times. And you like to explain the job a little bit to the people?
Well, I guess you did a pretty good job. What else? I mean, we have to transport them in to either different locations, so it's not the end of the job once we pick them up.
No. And when we do pick them up, we go as a 2-man team to pick up bodies at homicide locations and home locations. Anything that's medical examiner related, we go as 2, and anything that's home related, we go as 2. Anything else like facility calls or anything like that, we go 1. So unless the person massive. So if we go to a hospital, one of us are going. If we go into a nursing home, it'll be one of us. So we have to get the body on the gurney. We use a gurney, and we got to get the body on the gurney. We have to, tighten the gurney. Make sure everything is tightened and the body is secured. If they're on the lower position, we'll have to pull the gurney to that height or drop it to a lower height to get them on the gurney. Sometimes you might have to get them off the floor.
A lot of times we
Yeah.
have to get them off the floor, especially if it's
That's
a...
about half of the time they're on the floor. Usually we go 2 when they're on the floor, but sometimes, a lot of times, they'll be on the floors in a nursing facility or something like that, or assisted living, I think they call it, and sometimes they're on the floor, and I have to get them off the floor onto the gurney. It's a very physical job, a very mentally challenging job. We work 24 hours for 4 days straight, but recently that was cut to 3 days straight because of the volume of people that was coming through because of the COVID. Would you like to talk about the COVID a little bit?
Yeah, the COVID, we have procedure we follow. We have to put them in a white bag and then wrap them with plastic. We have to use PPE when going in, a mask. And again, we do the same one at a facility and two.
If you don't know what PPE is, that's like a
Protective.
Tyvek heavier duty mask, a M90 or whatever,
Yeah,
or something stronger than that. Face shield, gloves. I usually
Triple.
double or triple glove, depending on the situation. And we drop down layers of gloves as we go, so not to contaminate
the
our
outside.
outside of our bags, out in our gurneys that we're pulling, and stuff like that.
It's very hot down here, so that is very hot to wear into places.
Yeah, we're in the South Florida area on the west coast of Florida, and we operate from Naples all the way to Tampa. So sometimes we'll be even further than that, depending on the call. You know, sometimes people are local, but they pass away in a place that's not local. So they might be,
In
a
a
few hundred
hotel.
miles away, and we'll have to send somebody to get them there. You know, so.
Want to talk about Emmys or
Well, we could talk about the recent death. We had a recent death of a celebrity that was Michael K. Williams. I don't know if you know him.
no?
He was an actor. He was in The Wire. That was his most famous role on HBO. He as Omar. We can take a look and look him up real quick, and so you could see.
Maybe I did see that.
Yeah, you probably seen it on the news or something. Everything come by. Judy has a APP on everything that comes through that drops in town, and this guy was a phenomenal actor.
Was an OD?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
He struggled. You could read that off for the people,
I
so they
can't
can.
see. I don't have my glasses, Asa.
You can see that, Judy.
What is it? Michael K. Williams had been open about his struggle with drug addiction. Wasn't it a fentanyl?
Possibly,
Yeah,
yeah,
within
possibly.
the
Most likely
cocaine.
fentanyl. We get a lot of fentanyl deaths here. Um, People are putting fentanyl into every kind of thing they can.
Cocaine,
Re-
everything.
yeah, recently you had some comedians pass away from the fentanyl, and I even heard that people had put it in marijuana, the weed. That I'm like, how do they put fentanyl in the weed? Like, what are these people doing?
Drop it
Like,
in, I guess. I
I
know.
don't know what that.
We have to wear, I double glove with that, but
Yeah.
there are special gloves that the fentanyl will
Yeah.
go through, or will not go through, but ours it
Right.
will.
It is a precaution when we picking up people that's been exposed to fentanyl, if it's fentanyl in the area, stuff like that, or if it's a meth lab. We don't know where we're going to be or who we're going to be picking up. But, if you lost a loved one, our condolences to you. If you having a problem with drugs or something like that, um, find some help, if you can, and do that, because you don't know what they slipping in this stuff, because, we see all ages dropping from the fentanyl, and that's an everyday thing. So we pick up people every day from overdose.
At least, yeah,
Yeah,
if not
every
more.
day. Our majority calls are ODs and actual suicides, and we pick up a lot of suicides also, mostly gunshots, suicides, and there are hangings. I think will be the
Next, yeah.
next thing. People do that a lot around here, and it's unfortunate. But we pick these people up. We treat them with care, as much care as possible. With the people that we do pick up, some of these people are very massive, if I was gonna say.
Obese, yes, very.
Yes. So a lot of times they're on the floor. So we might have a 400-pound man on the floor, or 350 man or woman, women too. And me and Judy picked them up off the floor. And we get them on a gurney, and our gurney drops to the floor. We pick them up, once we get them tightened and fastened on the gurney. And that's what we do every day,
All day, all night, Asa.
all day and all night. So it's a challenging job. And we just learned to let you into our world. And this is the Drop Dead podcast, and this is our first episode. So if it's a little bit, if we're a little bit tight or a little bit nervous, pardon us. But we'll be coming to you every week and giving you our experiences and talking a little bit about what we do. The format might be a little bit better coming forward. We'll get better as we do it. And thank you for listening and tuning in to the Drop Dead podcast, episode 1.
Thank you, Asa.